friends, Rebecca here, the Dragon Librarian from Farmington Community Library, and Ling and I are here today to talk to you about a couple books that we think are just absolutely so very special, and they are perfect to read this time of year. Now, what do I mean by this time of year? Well, we've got Valentine's Day coming up this weekend, right? And whether you love the holiday or hate the holiday, you can't deny that it's everywhere right now, right? There's so many things that are pink and red, and there's candy all over the place. And I think that even if you hate the holiday and you can't stand Valentine's Day, I think that there's still fun things that you can do for yourself that are nice little treats, right? And that includes, of course, in my opinion, reading some fantastic books. So I'm a person who sort of is late to the romance genre. I never really cared for it growing up or when I was in my 20s or whatever. But since I've gotten older, I actually really enjoy it now. And I've really just dove into the genre and have just experimented with all different kinds of subgenres within romance and things like that. So I think that romance gets a bad rap. I know a lot of people don't take it seriously, but sometimes you just want to read something that's just fun, right? That's fun and flirty and light, although they're not all like that. But the ones that I want to talk about in today's video are very specific because I know that the romance genre has really exploded in recent years, mostly because of the romantasy subgenre, and people are reading more and more and more of that. But I think that because of that big explosion of this genre, a lot of people are still looking for some just really cute, sweet romance stories that don't involve a lot of spicy scenes, right? And that's totally fine. Sometimes you just want a really cute story. You don't want to be enveloped in the spice. And that's totally fine. So the two books I'm going to talk to you about today, that I'm recommending to you today, are really sweet romance reads if you are looking for more of a clean romance. If you're looking for something that doesn't have any spice really, or anything that's going to make you blush or have to hide reading the book in your car during your lunch break. I don't know who does that. Certainly not me. So both of these books are very sweet books, and I think that they are ones you will enjoy in time for Valentine's Day or really any time of the year. So the first one is actually called Attachments by Rowell. I think this might be, and I could be mistaken on this, I think this might be Rowell's first book. It wasn't the first book I read by her. She has written a really fantastic selection of young adult books, and that's how I came to know and love this author. But I came to her adult fiction a little bit later, and I've loved everything that I've read that she's written. But I think this one in particular is very, very special. And if you're looking for just a very cute, fun, and just super sweet book, this is it. So this book involves two women coworkers who work at the Courier, which is a newspaper, and they, like so many places, which I didn't really know about until I read this, they have an IT person that monitors people's emails, right? They make sure they're not using them for to spill journalism secrets or whatever, but they're also making sure that they're not using them for inappropriate things or talking about other people or, stuff you're not supposed to do on with your work email. So we've got the two main female characters who, even though they're not supposed to, they are constantly talking to each other through their emails about really everything, about their coworkers, about their love lives, about everything basically. So we have our poor IT guy who is monitoring these emails, and even though he knows he is really supposed to, let them know, hey, you're not supposed to do this, he can't help but fall in love with one of the women named Beth. And it becomes this problem. He feels like he knows this woman. He feels like he knows her deepest secrets, basically, because he has been reading them. And he is starting to fall in love with her. So I have this really endearing, sweet IT guy falling in love with this woman at work. And of course, there's so many issues with that. I read this book years ago, and I just still remember how much I absolutely love it. And when I think of Rowell, this is one of the first things I think about is this book. It's just very cute and sweet little story that just the dialogue is really fantastic. I loved all the characters. I thought it was very, very romantic and charming. I think charming and lovely are probably the best words to describe this one. Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. I will say I would recommend really everything by Rainbow Rowell. If you are looking specifically though for books that do not have any spice, that are like a sex-free graphic, you know, sexually graphic free book, her two newest ones do have spicy scenes in them. So I would read, if you're looking for not that, everything minus her newest two books. But this was one of her earlier works, so I think you will enjoy this a lot. Attachments. Next book I really, really love a lot, and of course it's because partially it has to do with books. This one is called Meet Me in the Margins by Melissa Ferguson. Meet Me in the Margins. So of course I was going to be drawn to this book because of the cover and that it features a book, right? Books about books are sort of my thing. Well, I have a lot of things. They're one of my things. And I really just fell for the story so, so hard. I've never actually read anything by Melissa Ferguson before or since, I don't think, actually. But I really love this book. So this book is about a woman who works for this publishing company, and her publishing company is very snooty. They don't believe, you know, romance or really any sort of genre fiction is important or worthwhile. Like I was saying before with the other book, like, or about romance in general, like a lot of people look poorly on romance, and I think that's a shame. So anyway, she works for this publishing company who is very snooty, like the CEO and everything, just they hate it. But she is actually secretly writing a romance novel. And she's contacted by somebody who wants to look at it, who might want to publish it, and she's really excited about it. Well, when she goes to the staff meeting, oh God, I read this book a while ago and I still like shudder thinking of this scene. She ends up dropping the manuscript in this meeting. Now, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, except the meeting is with the with this new, I think it's the CEO's son of this company, and he is just as hateful towards romance as anybody else. He just despises it. And she almost gets caught by him. So after that, she's like, all right, I have to hide this somewhere. Like, I can't let anybody see that I'm working on it. So she finds this like abandoned part of the building and hides it there. Well, after she leaves it there for a little bit, when she comes back to it, somebody has found it and written notes in it, like written editing notes to help her fix it. And she reluctantly agrees, like, oh my gosh, like, this person is right. Like, I do need to fix this, this, and this. So she starts this, like, communication with this secret person in her manuscript where they're going back and forth. And first they're just talking about the book, but then there's, like, some flirting and stuff like that. And she starts to fall for this person, whoever it may be, who is editing her manuscript, unbeknownst to her. This book is so, so cute. I mean, I'm sure you can probably guess who the secret editor is, right? But this was just really fun. I thought that the dialogue between the two characters was just so much fun, and I really loved their banter and the way they flirted and talked with each other, and it was just a very, very overall cute story. And again, like I said, who doesn't love a book that's about books, or a love story that is evolving around books? So, so, so much fun. Meet Me in the Margins. Well, those are the ones that I wanted to talk with you about today. Like I said, if you're excited about Valentine's Day, or even if you don't care about Valentine's Day and you're just looking for just a fun, sweet, romantic story, check out either of these two books. They are absolutely incredible, and you can find both of them at Farmington Community Library. Thank you so very much for watching, my friends, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day.